And we are live. Well, hello and good afternoon. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Edward Medor from Workiz, and I head up our strategic partnerships team. And I am super excited to be hosting today's session with one of my absolute favorite partners, JB Warranties. Today, we are going to unpack something that I think is pretty gosh darn powerful. How Workies and JB Warranties have teamed up to make extended warranty management simple, which is a big part of our vocabulary at Workies. Simple, automated, and profitable for contractors. So together, we're bringing an amazing tool called JB360. And so, whether you're already using Workies or you are already a JB Warranties client or you're just exploring what's possible, I would say that you are in the right place today. And so, we're going to start off with a quick overview of who JB Warranties is and how they support contractors across HVAC, plumbing, electrical. And then we're going to walk through how the integration works. I'm going to take a minute or two to showcase some of my favorite features within Workies that they do not only include the JB360 integration, but other features within our software that can help you sell even more warranties. And so after that, we're going to open up just for simple Q&A. And for everyone that's on the call here today, just look in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. You're going to see a little chat icon there. Please feel free to drop your questions into the chat at any time, and Kevin and I will try to weave those in as we go along. So without further ado, Kevin Thornton, the man, the myth, and the legend, General Manager of North American Dealer Services at JB Warranties. Kevin, thank you for being here today. So tell us about the thousands upon thousands of contractors nationwide that you've been talking to and helping them add revenue, build trust, and make warranty management something that just happens in the background instead of having to be, a headache.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Edward. It's a pleasure to be with you, and thank you all for joining us today. My role at JB Warranties is, as it says, dealer business services. It's trying to unlock ways that we can help our dealer partners be more successful. And really what we focus on are three things: how we can help dealers drive more revenue, how we can help dealers reduce their expense or their cost, and how we can help them mitigate risk. And so again, as the slide says, we're all about driving customer loyalty and retention, really educating dealers how warranties can be really utilized as a profit center and to really create that lifetime value of customers versus just an expense. Again, for you, those of you that are not familiar with JB Warranties, we would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are a company that was born in 2008, so about 15, 16 years old. We're very proud to be based in DFW, Texas. However, we do have a decentralized sales team. We have territory managers spread across the US and Canada. We're also proud to be an employee-owned company. So again, the way that we operate and the way we treat our employees, you can see a couple of awards logos that we have up there, really transcends how we work with our customers as well. We try to be very simple to work with and a good company or a good partner as well. When we talk about warranties, it's really important to look at, what are the benefits to dealers as well as the homeowners. So as a contractor, why warranties are important: it really helps you differentiate your business. It helps you increase your average ticket. Also, when you sell a warranty, you are as the dealer of record, you're the only dealer that can do that warranty work. So if it's a 5-year or 10-year warranty, you are basically owning that relationship over that 5 to 10-year period. The other nice thing is, if you're working with that customer, in order for that system to be, validated under the warranty, it has to be maintained regularly. So you should be getting a membership or a service contract as part of your offering. When you're servicing that home and you notice that they have a secondary system that's less than 2 years old, even if you didn't install it, you can put a warranty on that. If you also offer plumbing services and they have water heaters or a water filtration system, or even a generator that does not have a labor warranty, you can add the labor warranty portion. So again, we're trying to help you really create some stickiness between you and your customers. For the homeowners, again, it's all about peace of mind, right? They're making a large investment in that system, but we know that, equipment breaks down over time. And so with that system, they can pay now, buy that warranty. And then if there's an issue down the road, there's a mechanical failure, they're able to get that issue rectified at no additional cost. We do offer fast payments. So you're looking at about a 2-week turnaround once you process a claim with us. The other nice thing is that we have very flexible terms. So anywhere from a 2-year warranty up to a 12-year warranty. Labor rates from $85 to $300 an hour. So again, we try to be very, very easy to work with. If you get pushback from homeowners saying, well, I don't know if I'm going to be in the home in 10 years, that's not a problem. The nice thing is we offer free transfers. So if I sell my home to Edward and there's 3 years left on that 10-year warranty, I can then transfer that to Edward, and he's got coverage for that next 3 years, which is great. There's no deductibles for the homeowner, so they're not going to be paying anything out of pocket. We've also recently just introduced renewables. So again, if a homeowner does not want to lock in on a 10-year labor warranty, you can offer them a 2-year, a 3-year, or a 5-year warranty at a lower cost. And then once it's ready to expire, you can actually renew that out to 10 years. And that's something new. And it's something that, again, as we're talking about the automation, Edward, you can really leverage some other technology partners to automate that process as well. So I'll pause there for a second and pass it over to Edward to share some information about Workiz before we talk a little bit further about our integration JB360.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kevin. And just as a reminder, if you do have any questions, we are taking your questions so that we can circle back and answer all of them towards the end of our session here today. Some of them may actually be answered as we proceed. I know there was a question that had just come up that I think, Kevin, you just answered about what would happen to the warranty if we sold the company. And the new owner were operating under a parent brand. I believe that would
Yes.
be transferable.
Yes, and so that's a great question. So I talked about the transfer. If the homeowner sells, you can transfer the warranty to the buyer of your home. I think the question from Jeff is, what happens if a dealer goes out of business, or if they get purchased? If they get purchased, then those warranties can move. The dealer of record will move to the parent company. If for some reason business, you go out of business or you sell it, we will work with the homeowner to transfer that warranty coverage to another dealer, like this, in close proximity to their house, that's willing to pick up the warranty responsibilities for that warranty. And again, that's done at no cost.
Oh, that's amazing. And I think, though, specifically for Jeff's question, that he just wanted to know what would happen if he sold the company. So that's outstanding. Good to know. So, folks, I'm just going to show you a couple of my favorite features within Workiz that can really help making sell warranties a whole heck of a lot easier. So if anybody's scratching their head, I think I see in the attendance list here a few of our Workiz clients. But for those of you that are joining us today that never heard of Workiz or never gone through and seen an actual demo of the software, I would definitely encourage you to click the link. We posted 3 links in the chat. There's an opportunity for you to jump on a very quick demo, 20, 25 minutes of your time, and you can see all of the ways that we can help automate everything but the wrench. I believe that Workiz was born out of necessity. You should not need a PhD in order to use your field service management software. Quite frankly, you're too busy for that. Nor should you have to go out and put a second mortgage on your home. Or, Kevin, tell your son or daughter that they cannot go to college or have dance or football and things like that because you're going to be spending so much money on the software that you're using for your business, right? Workiz is just simple. It's easy to use. You point, you click, you drag, you drop. And so I'm showing you guys just a screenshot here, bird's eye view into my business, Edwards Heating and Cooling, the greatest fake business in all of Central Texas. Kevin's up in DFW. I'm down in the Austin area. And so you can see here, I've got a pretty big problem. I've got over $4 million in invoices that are past due. Kevin, you were talking about automations, right? What we're trying to do here with JB360 is automate that process for you so that if you go out and sell a piece of equipment, you can simply automate, adding the plan, being able to get paid out if you have to roll a truck, right? I mean, we can set up automations for virtually anything that you can think about. So wouldn't it be great if I could build an automation that for those past due invoices, because I tend to go out and do a lot of new construction work, I'm doing commercial, I got customers set up on net 30, 60, 90-day terms. The second that goes past due, boom, I'm going to hit them with an automation. I'm going to drop a link in there to where they can pay their bill online. But I've also got automations that I can build out for JB Warranties. So, if it's time for renewal of the plan, Kevin, one thing that you said, and you said this to me the other day, and I loved it, right? Like, oh, they're a little gun shy about going into a 10-year plan because it's going to be too expensive, right? Sell them the 2-year plan and then set it up for a renewal. And you can use Workiz automations to do this for you. Run a report, see all of these different plans that are, approaching that maturity date, and then push out an auto renewal to them. So we can automate anything. If a job has a status of done, do this. Do what? Let's go ahead and send someone. Let's send to the client a reminder. What kind of a reminder? Let's send them a text and an email. And let's thank them very much for their business. Please leave me a review here on Google. Please leave me a review here on Facebook. Folks, what I'm showing you right now are automations at your fingertips that are incredibly robust, very versatile, and this will save you money because you're not going to have to go out and subscribe to another third-party point solution to accomplish this. At Workiz, we try to build into our platform as many tools as humanly possible that are going to help you win more business, be more efficient, and try to, cut back on the additional expenses that you might end up procuring if you're going out there and managing like 10 different platforms. So now I'm going to go into another feature here. Kevin, can you still see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, excellent. So I'm going to insert just a shameless plug here because at Workiz, we also have AI answering. And at Edwards Heating and Cooling, I'm actually using my AI agent to help promote my JB warranties because I include one with every new system that you buy. And so you've got a full summary here of the call. We will record every call, whether it be one of your employees that's answering the call, or if it happens to be, Jessica, my virtual AI assistant. Every call is recorded and we can talk about whatever the heck you want us to talk about, ask certain questions. I've got Jessica telling everyone about our labor warranties. Kevin, give me a thumbs up if you can actually hear this call. Is that playing?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, well, that is a bummer. So technical difficulty. Essentially what we would see here though is as we go through the call, she's going to mention that, did you know that every one of our new systems now includes a warranty completely free of charge from JB Warranties? Now, folks, that's not really a free warranty. You're selling it, you're bundling it into the package, you're adding it as an additional line item, which that's not the way to go. Kevin, you and I talk about that all the time. You should actually flat rate that, right? You're going to present to someone a good, better, best sales proposal. And within that sales proposal, you'll have the warranty option there, because if you're going platinum, quite frankly, you should probably be covered for the next 10 years, right? So that's what you can do with Workiz. It's easy to be able to send out You can see here, estimate one. I'll show you a preview of this. Everybody can see. Share this tab. You can see my estimate one. This is my gold or silver. My estimate two is my gold, and my estimate three is my platinum package. And then you've got, you know, your heat pump, and you've got your different plans on there. But in any case, you've got the ability to bundle this all into your sales proposal. Makes it super simple. And then another thing, Kevin, you and I talk about this probably every week, about how, as a dealer, if you're out there actively selling service plans, this is a way to drive more business for warranties. Tell us the number one way that you can utilize service plans to sell more warranties.
Yeah, and really it comes down to your valuation of your business, because if your end game is to eventually sell your business, the buying company is going to ask you, how many homes do you have under contract? And the two main ways you do that is through comfort clubs or memberships, and also warranties, because they love that reoccurring revenue. So best practice for us is that when you put a quote together, if you have a good, better, best quote, let's say it's a value system, a mid system, and a premium system, we suggest that you add a good, better, best warranty. As I mentioned, you may want to do a 3-year warranty on the value line, a 5-year on your midline, and a 10-year on your premium, just to create different value propositions for each of those. And then put a membership on it as well. Because again, as you're in there and you're doing those tune-ups in the shoulder seasons, you're replacing the filters. It's just additional time that you're there. You can cross-sell, upsell, and look for additional ways to just, again, create that relationship and rapport with those customers. We know that it's very expensive to acquire a customer, right? It's hundreds of dollars through marketing. Last thing you want to do is install a piece of equipment and just leave. And so this gives you the ability to interact with those customers, build rapport, and over time, once you've gained their trust, you can start asking for reviews. You can start asking for referrals. Friends and family referrals are the best, because they tend to convert at a higher rate, because they're coming from a trusted advisor or friend, and they're free to you. And so it really should be part of your sales process to really leverage warranties, to leverage memberships, again, with the goal of creating that lifetime value and monetizing the relationship and the revenue from those initial installations.
And I couldn't agree with you more. Infinitely cheaper to keep the customers that you have than to have to go out and acquire new ones. But this right here, just as a quick example, certainly one way to do it, right? I could actually bundle the price of that labor warranty if I was selling a new service maintenance agreement, right? I could incorporate it into the price. Like this Platinum Comfort Club happens to include a 10-year JB Warranties labor protection plan. Then I'm just going to set my price there. Now, if I'm choosing as the dealer that I want to amortize this, like instead of billing them up front for the year, I could potentially split that up and bill out quarterly or monthly. That's a business decision I'm making as the dealer. But you're going to help me because I've got all of my SKUs loaded in the system. As soon as you see that SKU hit the system, that's really how the enablement of the JB 360 integration works, right, Kevin? And I'm going to pass the baton back to you so that you can show that in a little more detail, and then we can circle back and hit some more questions. But I love it, Kevin. You are right. The valuation of your company definitely going to be tied to how many service agreements you've sold, how many clubs. And then also, do you actually have labor warranties on this? Because I'm out all the time visiting with distributors, and I ask them, they'll have a dealer come in. I say, well, how many of your dealers are actually selling service plans? And a lot of them will say, well, not enough. And how many of them are actually selling labor warranties? Well, not enough, But when you actually talk to a dealer, Kevin, they'll tell you, oh, I got 2,000 customers, 5,000 customers, whatever the number might be, right? And then when you really dig into it, you find that these are just numbers because they're not active. They're not actually doing anything with them. So if it were to come time to sell the business, unfortunately, your business just might not be worth as much as you think it is. So I'm going to pass this back to you now. We'll go back to our presentation. And Kevin, you're good.
Excellent. Appreciate it. So we're here to talk about JB360, which is the integration. We know that, there's been this digital adoption where we've got leading field service management platforms like Workiz. Back in the day, we're using paper, we were using whiteboards for dispatching and scheduling. Now you have everything flowing through these SaaS-based platforms that makes things a lot easier, and having visibility into all of that data around your customer, the ability to email and text your customers and stay on top of your business and your receivables, et cetera, et cetera. And really that's where JB360 was born. As it says here, innovation through integration. So we're very pleased to announce that we've created an integration between JB Warranties and Workiz. And the best part of it, it's absolutely free for dealers to use.
Love that.
Yeah, I'll say that again for the people in the back. It's absolutely free to use. It's a very simple process to get set up. If you go back into the chat and you'll see that link for those folks that are on Workiz that are interested in the integration, you can click on that link and you can request information. We will reach out to you. We'll share with you some of the things that need to be done. We'll want to make sure that we have the right JB Warranty SKUs in your price book so that they can get pulled up. We'll work with you on your quotes to make sure that those warranties are being added to the quotes. And then we'll activate the integration, make sure the API is working properly. And then once that API is working properly and you're starting to process, what happens is as you complete jobs, at each night, we'll come back to that in a second. Each night, we're going to, through the API, we're going to scan your jobs. And if there's a job that was completed or an installation that was completed that had a JB Warranty SKU, we're going to pull that into JB360, which is the processing center that, as you can see here, there's two tabs in the portal. This is the agreements tab. So as you think of it this way, as you come in tomorrow morning and you're having your first cup of coffee and you log into JB360, it's going to say, here's a list of all of the warranties that you sold yesterday. It's going to pull information in from Workiz that shows you the job ID, the invoice, customer information. You're going to be able to go in, verify the make, model, add the serial number if it's missing. Once you see all the information that is there and it's accurate, you're just going to click a button. Once you click that button, JB360 is going to extract that information out of Workiz. It's going to pull it over to the JB Warranty site. We're going to populate the warranty with that information. It's going to pay for the warranty, and it's going to round trip that information back into Workiz so that you have a record in that job that location has a warranty. That process that I just explained, if you're doing that on the JB Warranty portal on our website, takes approximately 12 to 15 minutes. Utilizing that process through Workiz takes about 30 to 45 seconds. So when we talk
you
about,
just answered my next question. I was going to be, what kind of a time saver is this going to be? Because I love saving time.
It is massive. So the more warranties you purchase, the bigger the savings. And that's time that you can be spending on other revenue generating activities. So again, that's the information that we have on the agreement side. Excuse me. We also, through the integration, have some work on the claim side. So the API works for claims. So any of the locations that you perform a job on that has an active warranty, and we're kind of tracking the start and the end date, so we know that it's active, we're going to pull that into JB360 in the claims tab. So you're also going to take a look there because we're going to pull those jobs down, and because we know that it's a possible claim. It may just be a maintenance call. It may, it may not be related to a claim or a mechanical failure, but you may go in there and we ask you to look at the invoice summary, look at the invoice. And if that was supposed to be a maintenance call, but let's say there was a TXV valve that failed, and that is a claimable, task, then you can straight from within JB360, you can request and process a claim, add all the information. We're going to track that back in Workiz, and we're going to let you know once it's approved and that money's on its way. So again, I think of it this way, Edward, as you know, down here in Texas, we get a lot of hailstorms, and this is akin to Geico calling me tomorrow morning saying, "Hey, Kevin, I noticed that there was a hailstorm that came through your neighborhood yesterday. Would you like to file a claim on your roof?" It just doesn't, insurance companies don't work that way. That's in essence what we're doing. We're sending you or kind of providing you 100% visibility into all possible jobs that are claimable. And we've seen with JB360, our claim payouts are increasing, but that's by design. We want our dealers to put a warranty on every single job, and we want them to be paid out quickly on every single claim that they're eligible for due to mechanical failure. And that is that's the beauty of JB360.
That's amazing. And Kevin, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
It's nice to hear all of this, and you tell me that this could take approximately 45 seconds, but since you rolled out JB360, tell me about like a good success story, just one that comes to the top of your mind, where someone was really able to start either selling more service plans, more warranties, along with service plans.
Yep.
What's something that resonated with you?
Yeah, so we were finding, for instance, we had customers. A customer, for an example, would only use warranties to win a job or differentiate, or only put it on their premium offering. They wouldn't have a warranty on their good, better, but their best, they'd have a 10-year. And what we found is, their attachment rate maybe 10%, 15%. And so really best practice for us is it really should, you want as many at bats as possible. So put a warranty on everything. Again, you can start with a 3-year, a 5-year, a 10-year, whatever that may look like. Bundle the pricing. So instead of line items, because once you line item pricing, the customer is just going to nickel and dime you down, and they're going to start removing stuff, right? So just have your bundled price, or your happy meal price, as I like to call it. And once you do that, you're going to see your attach rates increase. I mentioned our renewables. That's another thing that we're seeing successful. So we're seeing attach rates go from 10% to 50% to 80%. And then we have this technology so that if you have if you're selling 2-year, 3-year, 5-year warranties, those warranties are renewable. So you can actually reach into Workiz, identify those warranties that are set to expire. You can work with some partners such as RP1, Hatch, Chirp, and you can utilize SMS and email campaigns to do outbound campaigns to those customers to let them know, hey, thank you for your business. Just to let you know that that product that we installed 2 years ago, it's in great shape. We've done tune-ups on it, but the labor warranty is expiring. Click the button below to renew that for an additional 8 years, an additional 7 years, whatever. So that's mailbox money. That's leveraging technology to spread a broad net to renew those warranties. And so that's some of the success that we're seeing in order to again get customers in with a warranty, get them on the memberships, and then through time remarket to them through text messaging and through emails to get them to renew and upgrade.
Absolutely. And again, if you have the right systems in place, all of this should be simple, should be easy, right? And so again, we love some of the partners you just mentioned, these third-party applications for automations, but so much of this can be done right here on Workiz. We build out the same automations, and then, in the spirit of just automating this entire warranty process from selling it to actually getting paid when you have to roll that truck. We've got all the tools inside of Workiz. Like I can go into my client database and, I can actually sort through all of my active JB Warranties customers, or if I happen to know one here, you can see, boom, oh, there's Kyle. Kyle is a JB Warranties customer of mine in Carrollton, Texas, right? So I know who my customers are, and I know who's only bought a 2-year plan and a 5-year plan, and so on and so forth. And so automations, AI, it's all the wave of the future, right? You have to be using these technologies to improve your life. Get out there, do what you do best, and let partners like Workies and JB Warranties help you get there, because Kevin, I don't know the first thing about going out and diagnosing somebody's system, but I know guys that I can call, right?
Absolutely. And the thing that
Uh,
I neglected to share, which I think is important with our renewable SKUs, is you may sell a 2-year warranty today, and based on your financials, you can roll a truck for, say, $125 an hour, and that's what the labor rate's going to be. The nice thing is, when you renew that 2 years from now, you can actually increase that labor rate. So we know
oh
with
wow.
inflation and whatnot, if in 2 years from now you won't roll a truck for 125, but you really need $200 an hour, you can increase your labor rate on that renewable as well. So a lot of our dealers love that, because if they're selling a 10-year warranty and it's at an $85 or $105 labor rate, they're locked in at that labor rate. And again, 8 years, 10 years from now, if something breaks, $85 just, in 10 years isn't what it is today. And so the renewable plans really help them increase, those labor rates over time, which is a great benefit.
That's amazing. I actually didn't know that. So you learn something new every day. I was
Oh,
just at an event with Train Technologies in Orlando last week, and I had a dealer who was telling me that he was sort of hesitant to sell labor plans because of that very problem right there. He was
hmm.
like, "Yeah, I don't want to lose money. It's not going to be worth it. Inflation, like forget
Yep.
it." So he continues to just kind of eat that and do it in house, and it's
Yeah.
just not the way to go, right?
And again, the thing
Um,
with in-house, all we ask, like you really need to know if it's legal in the state. A lot of, and I get it why dealers would want to consider doing it in-house, but if you don't have proper deferred revenue accounts set up and you're not following, GAAP accounting based on your state regulations, you're playing with fire. And so
yeah,
all I would ask is, the easy thing is, as you say, stick to what you're good at. Stick to, installing systems, fixing systems. You have an insurance partner who's, fully insured. There's, reserves against that. Again, if you go out of business, that customer is still going to be taken care of. It can be transferred. You don't have to worry about it, because a lot of dealers, what they'll do is they'll take that money up front. They'll kind of sock it over here, and then, they'll take money out of it if they have a warranty call, and whatever's left at the end of the year, they end up using it to fund the holiday party. That's not a good way to manage that. We've had situations, Edward, where like a private equity company or someone comes in to buy a company, and they'll find out that they've been self-insuring. That company will say, we're not going to buy you until you go to JB Warranties and you buy warranties for all of those homes that you've self-insured, because they don't want to inherit that liability.
oh wow.
Our good friend Patrick Lang with Business Modification Group, who is a business broker, he helps HVAC companies buy and sell their businesses. He will tell you that it's a liability if you self-insure, and it's accretive to your valuation if you use a third-party administrator such as JB Warranty. So just something to be mindful of.
And we love Patrick Lang at Workies too. It's funny. We're,
Yes.
we're running all the same circles, Kevin.
Yeah.
Few questions for you, because I've been monitoring the chat, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to take the first one. William was asking, or really telling. He said, "I'd like to learn how you can see in advance before the customer does the automation content that the customer is going to see. How can you send it to yourself to see exactly what it's going to look like and feel like in an inbox or text thread?" So that's something we could definitely work with you to see and get those test messages so you have a better idea. here at Workiz. If you were going to use our automations, I know with Chirp, for example, Podium, some of the other third-party point solutions out there, they should be able to do that as well. So
Mhm.
it is absolutely possible to test it, make sure it looks right, because quite frankly, if you can't do that, then, don't even bother. So you don't want
Absolutely.
to be sending out something with mistakes in it. Jeff had asked what happens to the warranty if we sell. I think we already addressed that. It is transferable. Even if you were to go under, God forbid, we don't want that to happen. Kevin's team is going to make sure that your customer can be taken care of with
Right.
a dealer that's, within proximity. What is the difference between Workiz and JB Warranties website? Okay, I think Kevin had already answered that through the chat, but yes, we do definitely have two very different websites. We just wanted to make it easier for you. So for those of you that are still tuned in and watching the screen here, you can scan this QR code and there's actually little boxes that you can click on to learn about both companies. Let me see if I can pull that up for you right here, because we just wanted to make this simple. Again, ease of use, right? So I'm going to share my screen with you one more time. And here is the JB Warranties Marketplace. So if you scan that QR code, it pulls up a little menu of options so that you can learn more about Workiz. And then you would also then click on the JB Warranties there. Both of them should be clicked. And then you fill out this form and we will get in touch with you. I promise you that. We're very fast. Kevin's team, my team, we're going to be Johnny on the spot. So we'll call you. We can set up a time to chat, run through a demo. Like I said, they typically only take, 20, 25 minutes of your time. Other questions that came through the chat. So the only thing we do is file claims with JB. We no longer sell the warranties. Do I need to integrate just to file claims? You don't
No,
need
and
to integrate just to file
no,
claims.
no. Carrie can continue through the JB portal on the website, can file claims there. Of course, we'd love to have them reconsider and sell warranties moving forward. So there's an opportunity to win the business. We'd like to have that conversation. But no, if it's just filing claims, you can just do that through the website. And then Eugene had asked about, is Workiz a field service management platform? Absolutely. It starts with, one truck. So for smaller dealers that are aggressively growing, it's a great application. And from what we're hearing from dealers that are using Workiz is it's priced right. It's a great value for all of the tools that you're getting. Some other bigger softwares that are really focused on commercial or focused on large enterprise get pricey, and so value is very important. And we love the fact that Workiz is great for all size dealers and is priced right, based on the value that they provide.
Absolutely. And there's a ton of options out there. Quite frankly, if I was an HVAC dealer, I'd be a little bit overwhelmed because I'm like, whoa, who do I go with? Like, I'll tell you what, many of us can do the same things. We're probably all going to be able to effectively dispatch a job and send it out to your technician. But, at the end of the day, it's really about the support that we're going to provide. How easy is it to onboard through the entire experience? What level of support are you going to get? I believe that both JB Warranties and Workiz offer phenomenal support. Every time I need something from Kevin's team, he's Johnny on the spot. And I love that. I love that about JB Warranties. And again, the spirit of this entire integration and partnership is to just make your life easy. So I would encourage you to please check us out. Please check out JB Warranties if you're just hearing about them for the first time today. Although a joke in the industry is we feel like everybody knows who you are, Kevin. So now I think there was a couple of other quick questions in here. Nope, that was it. So I would ask if you are still with us and you do have a question, but you've been too bashful, please drop it in there. Somebody else might also have that same question. But Kevin, you and I are going to see each other this weekend and, maybe cheer for the Bears a little bit. Is that
We
what's
will be
happening
cheering for
in Chicago?
That's right. We're going to be in Chicago for the American Standard Customer Care Conference. So if any of you are going to be attending that event, please drop by, see us. We're going to have an area of the bar set up for Monday Night Football for some chicken wings and some ice cold beer. So look forward to celebrating and is celebrating, I guess, the shoulder season, right? Shoulder season is upon us, and we'll have a little bit of fun in the Windy City.
Absolutely. And if you are a Lions fan, I'm sorry, it's no offense, but we're rooting for the Bears this weekend. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. As always, Kevin, it is a pleasure. I'm looking forward to seeing you this weekend, and everybody have a great rest of your day. Until next
And
time.
we're gonna circulate this, right, via email.
Oh yes, thank you. Keeping me honest. In case there was a member of your team that did not get to join us today, we will be sending this out. We'll send copies to you. Also going to drop a special gift in there, a little promotion and some knowledge, because who doesn't love knowledge? But thank you so much. Appreciate you, and have an amazing rest of your day.
Thanks, Edward.
All right, bye-bye.